My hands are a little dirty.
So am I.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 crime movies of the century so far.
Why's it got so many colors in it, man? What is this?
That's the thing.
My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket.
You know why the Yankees always win, Frank?
Because they have Mickey Mantle?
No. It's because the other teams can't stop staring at those damn pinstripes.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best movies between the years 2000 and 2021 about criminals and criminal investigations. Why are we so fascinated with crime films? Tell us in the comments. Number 20, The Nice Guys. When you think of who you'd cast in a buddy comedy, you probably don't think of Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. However, the actors, better known for dramas like Gladiator and The Notebook, proved they had comedic chops as well.
Right, look, when you're talking to your doctor, just tell him you have a spiral fracture of the left radius.
No! No!
Deep breath.
Set in Los Angeles in the 70s, the plot revolves around Gosling's hapless private eye and Russell Crowe's overly macho enforcer. As they investigate a woman's disappearance, they realize the case is a lot bigger than they first thought.
It was very slippery up there, okay? I was in the pool.
You're in the pool?
Yeah.
Why?
I had to question the mermaids. What were you doing while I was working?
In the spirit of writer-director Shane Black's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the film effortlessly mixes thrilling action with hilarious banter. Some say Nice Guys finished last, but that isn't the case here.
You know, nobody got hurt.
People got hurt.
I'm saying I think they died quickly, though, so I don't think that they got hurt.
Number 19, Gone Girl. No marriage is perfect, but the one between Nick and Amy Dunn is a special case.
Yes, I loved you, and then all we did was resent each other and try to control each other and cause each other pain.
That's marriage.
Gone Girl is a mystery, a thriller, a romantic drama, and a total emotional roller coaster. Directed by David Fincher and written by Gillian Flynn, adapting her own novel, it's hard to discuss without giving too much away. What we can say is that it boasts great performances from its stars, Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike, as well as strong dramatic turns from Tyler Perry and Neil Patrick Harris. As Nick fights against criminal accusations following the disappearance of his wife, the only thing that's clear is that, well, nothing is clear. Gone Girl is a twisted tale that will stick with you for a long time.
What have we done to each other? What will we do?
Number 18, American Gangster.
So you are what you are in this world. That's either one or two things. Either you're somebody, or you're nobody. Be right back.
One of the most powerful criminals in American history is also the subject of one of the most compelling biopics in recent memory. In Ridley Scott's epic saga, Denzel Washington plays Frank Lucas, who made millions in the 60s and 70s by trafficking drugs in Harlem. Russell Crowe shares top billing as the detective going after Lucas, and Ruby Dee earned an Oscar nomination for her work as Lucas's mother.
Do you want to make things so bad for your family that they'll leave you? No. Because they will. She will leave you. I will leave you.
Scott's attention to detail and Steven Zaillian's intelligent screenplay show how Lucas built his empire and the forces that brought it down. Number 17, Collateral. Tom Cruise usually plays heroic or morally righteous characters, so his role as Vincent in Michael Mann's Collateral was particularly revelatory.
Red light, Max.
Hold on.
Put your hands down. Put your hands down.
Okay.
After receiving a hefty financial incentive, cab driver Max, played by Jamie Foxx in an Oscar-nominated performance, agrees to chauffeur Vincent to multiple stops. The problem? Vincent is a hitman, and he's made Max an unwilling accomplice.
Man, if I do this, I'm just gonna end up getting other people killed.
Out of options, Max. Just take comfort knowing you never had a choice.
Taking place over one night in Los Angeles, Collateral benefits from the talent behind and in front of the camera. Mann deftly handles the action, whether in a nightclub or on a train. Cruise and Fox play off each other for the maximum amount of tension. Talk about a ride to remember.
Max! I do this for a living!
Number 16, In Bruges. What is it about big city types in small towns that's so fun to watch? In one of his most hilarious and touching performances, Colin Farrell plays Ray, a hitman whose mouth gets him in just as much trouble as his gun. After a hit goes awry, Ray hides out in the titular Belgium town with fellow hitman Ken, played by Brendan Gleeson. It doesn't take long for things to go even further south.
Oh my God. You were gonna kill me.
Oh, you were gonna kill yourself?
Director and screenwriter Martin McDonagh, who later made 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, shows a real knack for balancing comedy and drama. Filmed on location in Bruges, it's also a wonderful cinematic showcase for this beautiful and historic community.
What's up there?
The view.
The view of what? The view down here? I can see that from down here.
Ray, you're about the worst tourist in the whole world.
Number 15, Oldboy. Director Park Chan-wook knows that revenge is a dish best served not just cold, but absolutely frigid.
상처받은 자한테 복수심만큼 잘 되는 처방도 없어요. 한번 해봐.
The best film in his trio, known as the Vengeance Trilogy, is an adaptation of a manga. Oldboy is kinetic and invigorating in ways that many Hollywood action films can only dream of. Choi Min-sik plays Ode-soo, who's released after 15 years of captivity in a hotel room. With no idea who held him hostage or why, he goes to every length he can for retribution. Full of unbelievable action, including a standout single-take fight scene, Oldboy dares you to not be impressed. Number 14, Traffic. On a basic level, Traffic is about how illegal drugs affect people and communities. But Steven Soderbergh, who won a Best Director Oscar for it, knows it's not so simple.
If there is a war on drugs, then many of our family members are the enemy. And I don't know how you wage war on your own family.
Examining distributors, law enforcement, politicians, and users, Soderbergh shows how much havoc drugs and drug policy can wreak. With an all-star cast including Michael Douglas, Don Cheadle, Dennis Quaid, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and an Oscar-winning Benicio del Toro, Traffic handles the gravity of this difficult subject with total grace.
We need lights for the parks, so kids can play at night, so it's safe, so they can play baseball, so they don't become burros para los malones.
Through multiple storylines covering different aspects of the drug trade, watching Traffic feels like reading a great novel. Sadly, it's one that's entirely too real. Number 13, Nightcrawler. Although its title might sound like a supernatural horror film, Nightcrawler is about something much scarier. A person who'll stop at nothing to get what he wants, even at the expense of others.
What if my problem wasn't that I don't understand people, but that I don't like them? What if I was obliged to hurt you for something like this?
Jake Gyllenhaal lost 30 pounds to play Lou Bloom, an eccentric crook turned videographer. Going out after dark to capture footage of gruesome accidents and crime scenes to sell to a local news station, Lou sinks further and further into moral depravity.
You filmed him dying.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's my job. I like to say that if you're seeing me, you're having the worst day of your life.
Director Dan Gilroy's Oscar-nominated screenplay combines social commentary with a fascinating character study. Meanwhile, Gyllenhaal delivers a performance so creepy yet so strangely engrossing, you'll have to see it to believe it. Number 12, A History of Violence. Your past may not define you, but it can be difficult to escape. In David Cronenberg's graphic novel adaptation, Viggo Mortensen plays Tom Stahl, a small-town diner owner. After protecting his restaurant from a robbery, it becomes evident that Tom isn't who his neighbors or family think he is.
What am I supposed to call you now?
You're supposed to call me Dad. That's what I am, your dad.
Are you really?
Mortensen shows how skilled he is at portraying multiple sides of one man. His co-stars, including Maria Bello, Ed Harris, and an Oscar-nominated William Hurt, turn in phenomenal work as well.
Tell me what I gotta do to make things right.
You could do something, I guess. You could die, Joey.
Although it might not be as disturbing as his horror hits Videodrome or The Fly, A History of Violence shows that Cronenberg is a master at making viewers uncomfortable. Number 11, Uncut Gems. Directors and brothers Josh and Benny Safdie know how to stress an audience out, as shown in 2017's Good Time, as well as their follow-up, Uncut Gems.
I told you how things were gonna go if you didn't start to behave.
What? How was I not behaving? Explain to me. I'm sorry.
I think I was very explicit on the phone about how things were gonna go. You like the way things are going now, huh?
Starring Adam Sandler in a rare dramatic performance, Gems follows Howard Ratner, a jeweler in New York's Diamond District and a compulsive gambler. Addicted to the rush of betting, Howard puts himself in the crosshairs of some very unfriendly people.
Wait, listen, well, what do you know? Going at this, going at that, what do you know?
I don't know, I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. That's the dumbest bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
Sandler channels his comedic energy into something far more complex, and many believe he was an egregious Oscar snub. You might be aghast about Howard's decisions, but Sandler's brilliant performance helps you understand them. Number 10, Sicario. From its opening seconds to its credits, Sicario is the definition of tense. This action thriller from acclaimed Blade Runner 2049 director Denis Villeneuve stars Emily Blunt as Kate Macer, an idealistic FBI agent going up against a powerful Mexican drug cartel. Her morals are tested when she joins a task force alongside Josh Brolin's Matt Graver and Benicio del Toro's Alejandro Gillick.
Nothing will make sense to your American ears. And you will doubt everything that we do. But in the end, you will understand.
Blunt and del Toro deliver phenomenal performances, and Roger Deakins' breathtaking cinematography is as beautiful as it is unsettling. Sicario doesn't provide any easy answers about the war on drugs or ethics in general, and it's a great film because of it.
No fue personal. Para mí sí.
Number 9, Catch Me If You Can.
Are you a real-life pilot?
I sure am, little lady. What's your name?
Celine.
Celine, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, too.
It's a little surprising that Leonardo DiCaprio and Steven Spielberg have done one film together, especially because their first collaboration was such a delight. DiCaprio is so charismatic as real-life con artist Frank Abagnale Jr., you kind of want him to get away with his schemes, from check forging to impersonating doctors, pilots, and lawyers. Tom Hanks also turns in great work as the FBI agent hot on Abagnale's trail. But the heart of the film belongs to Christopher Walken, in an Oscar-nominated performance as Abagnale's father.
What was the name of that town?
Montréchard, Dad.
I didn't speak a word of French. 6 weeks later, she was...
Boosted further by Spielberg's brisk direction and John Williams' wonderfully jazzy score, Catch Me If You Can is a movie you'll want to catch again and again. Number 8, Drive.
I'll give you 5 minutes when we get there. Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours, no matter what. Anything a minute either side of that and you're on your own. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
Director Nicholas Winding Refn's thriller about a man caught up in a web of crime and betrayal might have perplexed viewers looking for something more like The Fast and the Furious. But Drive is a one-of-a-kind film. Ryan Gosling shines as the nameless driver, excelling both in scenes that require sensitivity and ones that require ferocity. Also terrific are Carey Mulligan as his love interest, Albert Brooks in a rare non-comedic role as a vicious gangster, and a pre-stardom Oscar Isaac.
I'll see you in 5 minutes. See you in 4.
With its gorgeous visuals and music courtesy of Cliff Martinez, watching Drive is like being in a dream. one that's frequently heart-pounding. Number 7. Memories of Murder. Bong Joon-ho received international attention and several Oscars with the dark comedy thriller Parasite in 2019. But the auteur has been making great films for years. One of his finest achievements is Memories of Murder, about detectives trying to solve the case of a Zodiac-like killer who's targeting women in a small Korean community.
말해. 네가 죽였다고 말해.
Parasite's star, Song Kang-ho, delivers a stunning performance as the less experienced investigator, coming to terms with the violence and cruelty of the world around him.
얼굴은 거칠해가지고 잠은 제때 자?
잠 제때 자는 형사가 어딨냐?
Bong handles the grim subject matter with sensitivity and impeccable visual language, making Memories of Murder a crime movie you'll never forget. Number 6. The Wolf of Wall Street. Martin Scorsese knows organized crime isn't just about gangsters. In his adaptation of notorious Wall Street fraudster Jordan Belfort's memoir, Scorsese creates a 3-hour epic that's as enraging as it is uproarious. As Belfort, frequent Scorsese collaborator Leonardo DiCaprio perfectly portrays the delusions of grandeur created in the pursuit of wealth.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
Although it runs 3 hours long, The Wolf of Wall Street never drags. In addition to DiCaprio, there are also incredible performances from Jonah Hill as his business partner, Margot Robbie in her breakout performance as his wife, and Matthew McConaughey in a small but pivotal role as his mentor.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
No, Fugazi. It's a fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart.
With 569 F-bombs and plenty of other inappropriate behavior, The Wolf of Wall Street might not be good and clean, but it's definitely fun.
The show goes on! This is my home!
Number 5. The Departed. No Best Director Oscar has felt more overdue than when Martin Scorsese finally won for The Departed. A remake of Hong Kong thriller Infernal Affairs, The Departed, which also won Best Picture, brings the action to Boston, and the tension never lets up.
I erased you!
You erased me, huh?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, shoot a cop, Einstein. Watch what happens.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon are both excellent as men trying their best to catch each other without being caught themselves. As mafia boss Frank Costello, Jack Nicholson has arguably never been scarier, and Mark Wahlberg turns in career-best work in an Oscar-nominated performance as a prickly police officer.
My theory on feds is they're like mushrooms. Feed them shit and keep them in the dark. Girls have a good day.
Even after multiple viewings, The Departed is just as thrilling as the first time you saw it. Number 4. Zodiac. Many filmmakers would have turned the story about the hunt for one of the most infamous serial killers of all time into a schlocky horror film, but David Fincher is a lot smarter than that. Zodiac isn't so much about the elusive Zodiac killer who terrorized Northern California in the 1960s and 70s as much as it's about the dangers of obsession.
I need to stand there. I need to look him in the eye. And I need to know that it's him.
As political cartoonist Robert Graysmith, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, grows more obsessed with finding this killer, his personal and professional lives crumble further and further. Also caught up in the fruitless hunt are future Avengers Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo. Zodiac is an immensely satisfying movie for viewers who are okay with not getting all the answers.
I'm not the Zodiac. And if I was, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
Number 3. City of God. One of the most riveting and brutal dramas of the 2000s, City of God's portrayal of gang violence in a Rio de Janeiro slum will shake you to your core.
Aí, vocês vão pagar pelos que fugiram, molecada. Escolhe, moleque. Quer tomar o tiro aonde? No pé ou na mão? Escolhe logo, meu irmão.
While directors Fernando Meirelles and Katia Lund don't shy away from gruesome moments, they also find humanity amidst all the chaos. City of God is also a coming-of-age story about a young boy nicknamed Buscape trying to survive in an environment plagued by fear and bloodshed. Set between the 60s and 80s, the film shows how communities become trapped in cycles of poverty and violence. frantic editing and gritty cinematography make it all the more immersive.
Uma fotografia podia mudar minha vida, mas na Cidade de Deus, se correr o bicho pega.
If you can handle the intensity, City of God will leave you spellbound. Number 2, The Irishman. Martin Scorsese has made all kinds of movies, from biopics to religious dramas to historical romances to family films. However, there's no question that he's most associated with gangster movies. The Irishman feels like the gangster film to end all gangster films. Running for 3.5 hours and spanning 5 decades, Scorsese's epic expertly chronicles the story of truck driver turned hitman Frank Sheeran, played by Robert De Niro, and his involvement with notorious Teamster boss Jimmy Hoffa, played by Al Pacino.
I heard you paint houses.
Yes, sir, I do, and I also do my own carpentry.
The marvelous cast, including Joe Pesci in a rare modern film role as De Niro's boss Russell Bufalino, lends gravitas to every moment.
Some people, not me, but some people, they're a little concerned. Some people, not me, they think that you might be demonstrating a failure to show appreciation.
And Scorsese proves just as sharp behind the camera as ever, thoughtfully examining what a life of crime amounts to. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Ocean's 11. This all-star caper is sexy, hilarious, and all-around thrilling.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief. I don't do that anymore.
Steal.
Lie.
Gangs of New York. Scorsese and DiCaprio began their fruitful collaboration with this epic period film.
When you kill a king, you don't stab him in the dark. You kill him where the whole court can watch him die.
Spotlight. This Best Picture winner sensitively examines a scandal that rocked the world.
It's time, Robbie. It's time. They knew, and they let it happen. 2 kids. Okay? It could have been you. It could have been me. It could have been any of us.
Baby Driver. Edgar Wright excels just as much at directing action movies as comedies. The Town. A gritty heist thriller confirming Ben Affleck's directing talent.
You think you're gonna get out of here? I got friends of the guys at Walpole. They'll make your lives rip-ass hell.
Don't you worry about it, old-timer. No one's going to prison.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. No Country for Old Men. For what Joel and Ethan Coen's adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's novel lacks in their signature humor, it makes up for in thrills. Set in Texas in 1980, No Country tells the story of a hunter, played by Josh Brolin, who stumbles across millions of dollars from a botched drug deal and is subsequently pursued by a relentless coin-flipping killer named Anton Chigurh.
You know what date is on this coin? No. 1958. It's been traveling 22 years to get here. And now it's here. And it's either heads or tails. And you have to say, call it.
Javier Bardem turned Chigurh into one of the most iconic screen villains of all time and received a well-deserved Oscar. The Coens themselves won Oscars for Best Director, Adapted Screenplay, and Picture. For its unrelenting tension, even in quieter moments, and superb directing and acting, No Country is an absolute triumph for the crime movie genre.
Then I woke up.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.